Welcome to Let's Talk Books Unscripted. Welcome back to Let's Talk Books Unscripted. We're at episode 27. So, as you know, this is a podcast style series we're doing. Husband and wife who love reading and love talking about books. Everything you see is unscripted, it's unedited, so things happen sometimes.
Yep.
What are you drinking tonight?
I am having a cream soda Olipop. I really want to start partnering with them, by the way, so that I can maybe get some free Olipop. That'd be pretty sweet. But this is one of my favorite flavors, and I actually got the idea from our friend Where's My Library Card, KK, who also has a YouTube channel, and she's on socials, so if you're not following her or subscribing to her yet, you should be. But she likes to pour her Olipops over ice in a wine glass. I mean, yes, wine is good in a wine glass too, but this is kind of fun to drink over ice in a glass. I don't know if it necessarily makes it taste better, but it's just like a fun way to drink it. And you're having good old water on the rocks.
Yep.
So yeah, let us know if you're drinking anything yummy tonight or you're having a snack. Yeah, I'm not super hungry right now. We had like a pretty hearty salad with some breadsticks.
Salad with salmon.
Salmon salad. It's a good way to have salad, so.
It was good.
So yeah, just having beverages, and we're gonna start chatting about a lot of books here.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of books to talk about. Books we're reading, currently reading. Finished.
I finished reading.
Books we're doing for our book club coming up. Books we have on our radar. So there's a lot of books to talk about. So we better dig in. We got a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can start. So I think, I'm pretty sure, when we talked to you last, I was like, I think I said when we were signing off that I was going to try to finish this one. So I'm pretty sure I did that. Yeah, whatever night that was, it would have been a week ago. So I think it was that night that I finished it. But this is The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart, I think is how you say it. I did look it up.
You did?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
It's Urquhart. It's kind of an interesting last name. And yeah, I think we said before, she is also the co-host of a podcast called Morbid. I still have yet to listen to it, but I'm definitely intrigued now after reading this book. I'm planning to grab the sequel, which comes out very soon. So that comes out this month. We'll see if I get it right away this month or maybe wait till next month. But I do want to read it during this season instead of like waiting until, next spooky season, which honestly I read thrillers any time of the year, so it wouldn't have to wait till then anyway. But yeah, nice and short. It was a really quick read. I think it was mostly short chapters, which I loved. But yeah, I would definitely check it out. Like a cat and mouse, creepy type book. She also, I think I said this before, I think she still is, or maybe she doesn't practice anymore, but was an autopsy technician. So she just can really, write to that. Or have knowledge of that, which she kind of, put in her book then. So I just found it really, really intriguing. It does have some mixed reviews. I kind of went down the rabbit hole afterwards. Some people were not pleased. They're like, oh, she should just stick to her podcast and not write. And I don't know, I found it entertaining. I really enjoyed it enough to where I definitely want to see what happens next, because she kind of left us on a cliffhanger with this one. So yeah, I'm glad that the sequel will be out soon so that I can read that. And then I definitely want Corey to read this one so that we can chat about it.
Seems pretty good from what you've told me.
Yes.
Move this back a little bit.
Okay, there we go. So if you want to share
So
one.
I have yet to finish a book this month. So let's see.
You're close though, right?
Yeah, look, this is where I'm at with Crying at H Mart. So I'm very close. So that one will be very, very soon. And I'm itching to start a new book, so I need to finish one of these books. Like, I'm not going to start, I want to start another one, but I'm not going to until I finish at least one of these. So, I'm reading Crying H Mart, which I'm close, and then Stephen King's Misery, which I am getting through as well. This one has slowed down a little bit. We're kind of in the middle of the book, so there's just a lot of, like I said last time, Stephen King likes words. So there's just a lot of words and a lot of, I don't know if you call it filler, but there's just a lot of stuff that's going on that maybe isn't super relevant to the story, but it's very interesting still, because I am very curious to see what happens. Mm-hmm. So
it's got all the creepy vibes going for it. I mean, isn't it creepy? It's not scary, but like
it's
unsettling.
It's very unnerving, and just the kind of the main female character, Annie Wilkes, is very odd, and she has a lot of things going on up in her head that causes her to do some weird stuff, and you never know what she's going to do. She's very unpredictable, and she has a way of trying to punish the author, Paula Sheldon. She's pretty much making him write her a book because she didn't like what happened with this previous book. So Misery comes from a character in Paula Sheldon, who's the main character. Misery is the last name of a character in the books. So that's where the name comes from. So the character is named Misery Chastain. So he has this whole series of books that contain this character, Misery. And he ends up killing her off in his last book, the Misery books. And his caretaker and captor, Annie Wilkes, is a huge fan of Misery, and she finds out that he killed her off, and obviously is not pleased. So she's pretty much forcing him to write a new book called Misery Returns, where he has to not make her dead anymore. So, and like, it's
interesting, you know, to see what ends up happening there.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So we'll see what happens. But her character is crazy. But so I got 2 books. 3 books I want to start soon, but I'm not going to start any of those until I finish one of these. So I'm sure it'll be this one very soon.
Yeah.
And then I can move on. But I'm going to show those 3 books so you can root for me. We can get to one of them soon. 2 of them are pretty short, so that'll be good.
Yeah. Those are little books. Another one that I finished that I think I talked about at one point. Pretty sure. I know we do a lot of these, so it's hard sometimes to remember exactly which ones we've talked about. But this one is called All In by Elaine Evans. This one was gifted to me by the author, so very appreciative of that. I got a really cool PR box with it, so I've been advertising this one for her. So yeah, it came with some other goodies, and this one officially publishes tomorrow. So when you're watching this, it'll be today. So yeah, pub date is September 10th on this. So yeah, you'll be able to go on Amazon and grab it. But yeah, this copy was gifted to me. It's a second chance closed door romance, and it's really interesting because a lot of the book, so pretty big chunks of it, are told from the main characters writing back and forth to each other. So first it's like letters, then they go back and forth with emailing, then it turns into text messages. Yeah, oh yeah, she signed the inside.
I just know so signed.
Yeah. So yeah, Sam and Maria are our main characters for this. And yeah, it's like, I don't want to give anything away, but early on in the book, their relationship ends. I won't say why or what happens with that. You have to read to find out. But they were like high school sweethearts. So it's like the whole book just takes place over a very long period of time, like decades, like where they come in and out of each other's lives. And there's just a lot going on, but they always seem to find their way back to each other. So it's one of those books where I was like frustrated through it though, where I'm just like, like, you know, like stop miscommunicating or just be together, you know.
They have to do that though.
But it made for a good story, and it made me want to keep reading because I needed to find out how their story was going to wrap up, and it was very beautifully written. I know this author has written one other book, so I'd be excited to go back and read that one because I did very much enjoy this. And then I think she is working on like her next book. So yeah, again, very grateful to her, and I've been able to connect with her on Instagram too. So I highly recommend checking it out. All In by Elaine Evans.
Very cool.
And then another one that I just finished this morning. I tried really hard to stay up late. Well, we had a very busy weekend. We had a lot going on. It was not a bad weekend. It just was, we were very busy. So I was going to try to be a hero and bang out the rest of this last night, and it did not happen. I was like 40 pages short, and I was like, ah. So I finished it this morning. Our youngest daughter was pleased to watch her favorite little like kid show on TV, and I let her watch it for probably longer than normal. So it was her lucky day because I wanted to finish this. But yeah, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This is the first book I've read by her. She does have a few other books. I'll be real honest, I don't know if I would pick up another one of her books, just because I didn't absolutely love this one, but who knows, maybe one of her other books, I'd like the story more, because I like her as an author. I thought it was very well written, but I had a very hard time getting into the story. I actually was really liking it, I think, for the first, like, quarter, maybe verging into, like, halfway through, and then after that, I kind of stopped like being super into it. It was where like this was not the book that I found myself gravitating towards wanting to pick up. It varied in length for chapters. I feel like some were super quick and then others were a little bit longer, so they weren't consistent as far as length went. If they had all been shorter chapters, maybe I would have cruised through it quicker. I don't really know, because I think it becomes a head thing for me then, even though we've discussed this before. It doesn't mean, it's like, it's still the same, you know, the length of the book is still the same. But yeah, it was very atmospheric. I definitely could see where she was going with things, and why a lot of people are drawn to it, but this book was just, I don't know, plain and simple, not for me. And I'm sad to say that because I was really looking forward to reading it. But it was very, very long. I felt like too long, a lot of characters. So I'll just put that out there for you right now. And that's not something I typically struggle with. I like when there's multiple characters because it's fun to read, to see it from different people's perspectives instead of only one protagonist. You know, I like both ways of writing, but I do really think it adds to a book when there's more than one character. But this was like 2 or 3 or 4 too many. It was just, it was so many to keep track of, where I would be like, who is this person again? Where are they from? What do they have to do with the story? And so that was actually kind of frustrating to me when I was reading it, that I had to, it dampened my overall reading experience, honestly. And then it time hopped, so it was all over the place with different time frames. There were probably only maybe like 1 or 2 characters out of a ton that I like felt for and got invested in their story. And then the ending was still just kind of like, meh. So I don't know. I don't want to say I disliked it, but I definitely didn't love it. So would I recommend it? Maybe to the right person. And yeah, I mean, just because I didn't love it doesn't mean that you won't.
A lot of people have loved it.
In fact, I would say I'm probably in the minority at this point. Because like on Goodreads, it's like I think the average is like 4.28, I want to say, for an average rating. So that's pretty good.
That's really good.
But yet I have talked to a couple other people on social media who also felt the same as me. So yeah, I don't know. Give it a chance, but it is an investment. I will say that right now. It was like 470 some pages long. So yeah, a bit of a chunky book. But also I'm starting to wonder if just like lit fic is maybe not my genre either. This falls into like, literary fiction, historical fiction, and mystery. However, I felt like the mystery was lost on me. Like it just was, I don't know. So
it wasn't
as you can tell, I have a lot to say about this one. And then there will be a shorter version that Corey, I'm sure, will post at some point too, because I did get it filmed, my little reel review on it. So that will be to come. But yeah, don't let this review keep you from picking it up. Maybe it's been on your radar. Maybe you're currently reading it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah. Good, bad, good whatever. Yeah.
Maybe it's not a good book to read, like, while also reading 5 other books.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it was one I just needed to solely focus on.
Because with all the characters and time warping,
it's almost like it takes a lot of mental.
You have to just be like focus on God of the Woods, which you know we're not good at focusing on one book. Yeah. So it's not a strength of ours.
No.
Sure
isn't.
So last episode I gave a little update on trying to figure out, because I just got The Secret History for my birthday. So remember, and I've talked about the Goldfinch in previous episodes. We did a post on Instagram. I wanted some opinions, which one to read first, the Goldfinch or The Secret History. And it was very close. For a while, it was like 50-50, 50-50. And at the end, this one ended up getting 60% of the votes, right?
I think something like that.
60% to 40% said I should read this one first. And there's really no reason why. I think it's just,
I don't know, personal preference, or
more
could have even been people voting based on the cover. I mean, people who didn't even haven't read them.
I think more people liked this one, or this was maybe the only one they had read. They hadn't read the Goldfinch yet. Yeah. So I am going to decide to start with this one, which might be better since it is a little shorter.
Still pretty lengthy, but not as long as the Goldfinch.
Still lengthy, but yes. So this will be the one I'm going to start with, even though I thought I'd start with the Goldfinch. But since I got this one, I had to ask. And I want to go with the majority vote.
The masses are saying.
And they're both going to be good. Like I'm going to read them both, so it doesn't really matter. But I'll start with this one, and I'm sure this one will want me to read the Goldfinch because they're both very well written from what I heard. But so, well, yes. So once I finish one of those books,
probably going to start that
I will start this. I probably will read more than two books. Like maybe I'll read 3 books,
at a time.
Maybe 4. Like we'll see.
I'm rubbing off on them. It's bad.
And I've been really like itching to start a new book.
And then, in general.
But now that I'm back to work, I don't have my day reading time I used to have. Because I went back to work. Now I had my first full week back at work, which was great, but it has put a damper on my day reading because I have to work.
And then he's not as awake and in the mood for reading at nighttime.
Nighttime
like
is, we've talked about nighttime is not my reading time. Daytime or morning are my reading times. Or like after work would be fine too. Like after work, like from like 3.
Could read for a little bit after you get home.
So that's why I've slowed down a little bit because I'm back at work now.
Man,
jobs,
getting in the way.
And like I drive for my job, so I can't read. I could listen to books.
Listen to audiobooks.
But I'm thinking like maybe I could just like read like this. Like it's not safe.
No.
Okay. But so that'll be one of I got 3 that I'm gonna start. Can I do 5? Wait, what? That would only be 4 books. That would only be 4.
You're gonna finish Crying in H Mart, so then you'd have 4.
And then I'll finish Misery, so I'll be like between 3 and 4. That's not bad. So that's not bad though.
So a book I'm getting more into. I did make some more headway in it today. I think after I finished The God of the Woods, I read a little bit more. But yeah, I have to kind of cruise through this one because we're going to be discussing it at my in-person book club on Friday. So when we're signed off here tonight, you know which one I'm going to be reading a lot of.
On Friday.
Probably going to start another one tonight, but going to definitely try to get much further into this. If I could get like halfway, that would be really good. But this is called The Connollys of County Down by Tracy Lang. It's got a really, really pretty cover, by the way. And I've read one other book by her called We Are the Brennans, and I really, really enjoyed it. Of course, there's a lot of the book left, so I can't tell you for sure that I'm not going to like this one as much as that one, but so far, I'm feeling like I enjoyed the other one more. But I definitely love this woman as an author. She's a very good author. And she writes with such depth, like all of her characters. Because I really have decided I'm a fan of like family drama books. So, because this could be almost one you could consider being like on the slower side too. And that's kind of what I struggled with God of the Woods, for example. But it's like, I guess it still moves at enough of a pace and like, it's not like all over the place, and it just, I don't know, it's the storyline I'm able to follow better, and I am enjoying it. So I'm excited to discuss this for in-person book club on Friday. So it's a nice, like, smaller book too. But yeah, if you have not checked out anything by her, We Are the Brennans is a great one. And then this one, I think published last year, and then she actually has a new one that I believe just came out or is coming out. So probably gonna want to grab that sooner than later too. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of hers. So Yeah, so that's what I'm currently
I was going to talk about a different book, but we're talking about your book club.
Book club.
We'll talk about
wasn't book club books.
So Katie has a book club that she has every month, and it's
been almost 2 years now.
Yeah,
November actually is going to be like 2 years since.
So that's been pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's all ladies, and I've kind of been itching to dip my toes in it a little bit.
It's not exclusive.
No, it's just
we haven't said men are not allowed.
Generally, like, I'll go down to the basement, let them have their time, and I'll, do whatever, or I'll go out with a friend. But I checked the schedule earlier this year. I'm like, I'm gonna participate in one of the months. I looked at the schedule, like, what books would I maybe want to read, and I decided that. So after this book, they're gonna start reading this book here, In the Lives of Puppets.
That'll be the one we discuss in October.
By T.J. Klune. This was a book Katie actually thought I would like last year.
I was like, you probably like this. Yeah.
She's like, I think you like this book. And so I'm like, so I'm planning to read this book with the book club, and I'll participate in the book club with them next month. Yeah. And I think they're all gonna be cool with it. I think they want me to check it out.
Yeah.
But this looks pretty cool. It's pretty neat. What did someone say? It's kind of like Pinocchio. For the end times.
And also like Swiss Family Robinson or something. Yeah. I don't know. Like it's about a bunch of robots, really. I think is like what it is. Yeah. But I don't know. It'll be something different for our group. So I'm really excited just to like branch out and do something that we haven't really read before. Yeah. Because it falls into the fantasy category. So we don't really do a lot of fantasy.
And we've shown this book in reels and stuff before, and everyone's like, "Oh, I love that book. It's so good. Look at how beautiful it is too." So
we saw a special edition of it at Barnes.
So I got a lot of books to read coming up, so I gotta get through them. But this will be like from a month from now when you guys we'll talk about this in the book club. Because you'll have your club Friday, and then about a month later, we'll talk about this one. So we'll both be keeping it posted because we're planning to go
sharing a copy. Yeah,
we're gonna go double bookmarks.
Yep, we'll be doing that with our other one too.
Yes,
that we're gonna show here. Do we want to show that one next then?
Yeah.
Since we're on the book club train here.
Yeah. So Katie also started recently a virtual book club with a lot of people we're meeting on social media.
One book club was not enough. Yeah.
They had their first meeting last month, and it was awesome.
It was really fun.
And we've had a lot of new people starting, and people were asking if I was going to do it, and I was like, well,
sure.
I am going to. And the book that was chosen is this one here, We Used to Live Here. You may have seen this book going around on the socials because it has exploded with popularity.
It's going to be a movie too with Blake Lively. I think it'll be on Netflix, so I will for sure be watching it.
It's actually
through my fingers.
It's actually been so popular. It's becoming hard to find.
Yeah, to even get a copy.
And so we were lucky to get one. So we'll be dual reading this one as well.
Yeah.
This
different bookmarks.
People have been saying that this book,
it's like the scariest book they've ever read.
It's going to give you nightmares, and
I might need to read
highly recommend not reading it before nighttime. But if you read this one, let us know. But we're gonna be doing
this one next month too. So the virtual book club, for right now, maybe we'll change it, but for right now we're meeting every other month. So it just gives people more time to like secure a copy of a book, or if they're a slower reader, or just the fact that I have my in-person one that's every month. So I'm like, let's do the virtual one every other month. So yeah, we did a book we met in August, and then we'll do this one in October.
Yeah. So there is still time if you want to join in. And if you contact us on here or on Instagram, and we do it virtually on Google Meet.
Yep, and then I have like a group chat going on Instagram too, where we can kind of talk about the meetings, and we chat books in general. Sometimes people are like, "Hey, have you read this?" Or like.
So did you have a date yet?
Yes. So it's October 20th, I believe, is what I picked. So it's a Sunday.
So we'll talk about
a Sunday night.
So meet on Google Meet. So there's still time if you want to join in. Just contact us anywhere, any of the socials, and hopefully you can get a copy of this book. And because I think it's gonna be
super creepy.
A couple people have already finished it in the chat, and
I'm itching to read it, but I'm purposely waiting.
I think it's gonna be hard.
Because I read, the amount of books I read, I want it to be like as fresh in my mind as possible.
So I don't think either of us will start it till October, just so we can like get through it. But it's not super long either, which is kind of nice. Long. But keep an eye out for this book if you find it. pick it up and
join us.
Join the club. We'd love to see you there.
I guess, yeah, I'll talk about, I didn't grab my Arvar ones if you want to do that while I'm talking about this book. I just thought of that. This book I just got from Zibby Publishing. I feel like maybe I've talked about them before on here. It was a book that I was raving about, I think, a couple different times on videos called The Last Love Note. I loved that one by Emma Gray, and that's through Zibby Publishing. I did not get it gifted from them. I did purchase that one for myself. But now I've developed a relationship with them on Instagram, and so I've gotten a couple boxes from them with a free book. This one publishes tomorrow, so when you're watching it, it'll be today. So this is also a, September 10th release. I have not started it yet, but I would really like to get it going soon so that I could at least get a review up as close to pub date as possible. But yeah, if I had gotten it a little bit sooner, I would have had it read. But I'm super appreciative to them for sending it. And it wasn't just the book; it came with like chocolate and lip gloss and like a face
they send swag.
I don't know. It's like so cool. Like it's like a fun box, and it comes with like all the little like the crinkly paper in there, and you get everything out. It's really fun. So this is called Exposure, and it's got a really, really cool cover. But I hadn't even heard of this one. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it falls into the like thriller category, but also it just has some like drama. I mean, maybe it would just be considered like general fiction, but definitely excited to start this one soon. Seems like it's got pretty short chapters, which makes me happy. So this is by Ava Delara, I think is how you would say her last name. Yeah. So yeah, excited to dive into this one soon. I don't know if I'll start it tonight. We'll see. I have to make some headway in my book club book.
You said that. I'm going to keep you accountable.
I'm excited to start this soon. If it's tonight or not, I don't know. But and then, yeah, I guess I'll talk about another one I plan to start soon. This one is from the library, so I really do need to start this one. Have we talked about this before? However, and I don't know how your library does things, but we don't have late fees anymore, but I kind of feel bad about keeping books, like, even if I'm not going to be, like, in trouble, because I feel like if there's other people who want to read it, like, you know, so I kind of want to be mindful of that. And I may be able to like get an extension on this one anyway, but if I need to, because this one is kind of a bigger book, but it's called The Reformatory. Yikes, it's like really glary. Sorry, these weird
library covers.
These weird plastic covers. But this was another one that KK, our friend, Where's My Library Card, was raving about. And I had heard of it already, and it's been on my radar for a long time, but it was like hearing her talk about it was like what I needed to like be like, all right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna read it this season. And yeah, I think it falls into a couple different categories, like historical fiction, but also horror, like horror, thriller. Probably not a thriller. But yeah, I've heard really, really good things from KK and kind of all over social media.
Yeah, she said it was like one of the best books she's ever read.
Yeah. Yep.
Or like, will for sure be her favorite book of the year.
Yes.
So far.
And I was like trying to find like a little blurb, but there isn't really like a small blurb. It's like.
So you started it?
No, I haven't started.
Haven't started yet.
I just have my bookmark ready.
You're ready
right before chapter 1.
For when you start.
So yes, I do need to start this one soon because it does belong to the library.
When's it due?
I think somewhere in the 20s of this month, so like the 20th, maybe a little bit more than that. So yeah,
2 weeks or so.
Gotta get going on that one, or I'm gonna be asking to keep it a little bit
those?
longer.
I have 2 other books I want to start soon. They're both thin. One of them won't be a surprise since I talked about it last week, and I can't stop thinking about it. So it's gonna have to be started soon, even though I just got it recently. I'm starting it already, which is kind of unusual. But I just think I need to because I can't stop thinking about it. But this is The One Tender Is the Flesh. I know I showed it last episode and talked about it, but I'm gonna start it. I mean, I got all like creepy books coming up with this one. And then We Used to Live Here. I'm reading Misery, but I just have to read it. And it's thin. Both these books are thin, so I'm going to count it. It's like almost like reading one book, but this is so intriguing to me. And I'm going to have a lot of thoughts on it. And the second one is a book that I actually got influenced from someone I like to follow. His name is Nick. He's over on Books Are Sick on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Super cool guy. But he influenced me. Words are difficult. And this book, Looking for Alaska by John Green. So this is actually John Green's debut novel. So you know who John Green is.
Some of you may be familiar with him for The Fault in Our Stars, which I have read and saw the movie.
For Paper Towns, Turtles All the Way Down. I have a couple other books. So this was actually his debut novel, and it obviously kind of jump-started his career in contemporary fiction. You know, I think a lot of his books are really geared towards more YA, but they're so good that everyone's reading them. Yeah. This is another thin one. So this was a book he influenced me to read, and I'm excited about it. It'll be a lot different from my scary books. You know, more of a coming-of-age story. And Alaska is actually, like I was kind of unsure too, but Alaska is actually the name of a character.
Not the place.
Yeah, so it's not like he's going to Alaska to like adventure, but he meets a girl named Alaska at the boarding school he goes to. So, gonna be great. Yeah. Gonna be good. So I'll start those two along with, you know, The Secret History, and I got to read the 2 book club books. So I got my work cut out for me.
I have to laugh because he's I've turned you into a book monster.
I just need
And then of course I made a post this morning on Instagram of like a bunch of hopefuls for me in a stack. And now I have like 3 books to pick up at the library. So I have just like completely serious issues. Like I don't know. It's just my mood is all over the place. Like I have these like intentions in my head of like, okay, this is what I'm going to read. And then I'm like, oh, squirrel. There's a book over there that, oh, I'm going to pick up that one. And you know, the best thing about reading is there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. It's just like, and the books that you had intended to read, they'll still be waiting for you at the right time. And when you're in the mood for it, maybe now isn't the time when you thought it was. So, you know, it's just like, read what you want, when you want.
And that's
do whatever makes you happy, you know, at the end of the day.
When you're a mood reader, it's good to have multiple books going because every day, like, let's say it's Monday, I'm feeling horror. Tuesday, I need a romance.
Right?
And like,
exactly.
you know,
you
like,
just never know.
I bought this book a while ago, and I was just like, looked at my shelf, and I was like, this one looks good.
Yep.
Today. And, you know, that could change, but that's how you start them, and then, you know.
That's why it's good to have your own personal library, and then that I also have access to the legit library, because I'm like, well, seeing as how we have to slow down a little bit on our book purchases, well, then the library's coming in clutch for me because there are a couple books I want to read that I don't currently own. So there we go.
But your hopeful stack was pretty large.
Oh, it was very, that's very hopeful.
Adding 3 more to them is like a
extreme.
Climbing Mount Everest of books, but, you know.
It's okay. It's all good.
It's ever changing.
But then, 2 that I did just get today from Arvar, from my favorite book subscription. And this is one right here that I'm not waiting until next spooky season to read. Because, I mean, when I show you this cover, it's pretty cool. And it looks like I'd get through it really fast, too. It's pretty little. But this is called So Thirsty. I mean, come on. It's a vampire book. So I'm super into that. I'm going to show you the naked cover, but also I'll show you this too.
Exciting.
That this is a signed copy, which is pretty stellar. This is by Rachel Harrison. I have not read anything by her yet, but look at this. This is so cool. The red and the red, black, white. Look at the binding. That's really fun.
Books are awesome.
Oh, I love it. She has another one that maybe you've heard of, and Aardvark actually carries that one too, and I just didn't pick it up for whatever reason when it was a pick however many months ago, called Black Sheep. I might still be interested in that, especially if I end up really enjoying this one. But she's got a few books, actually. So she's got The Return, Cackle, Such Sharp Teeth, Black Sheep, and then this one. And then she has a short story collection as well called Bad Dolls. So,
creepy.
But yeah, let's see what the little blurb says. A woman must learn to take life by the throat after a night out leads to irrevocable changes in this juicy, thrilling novel from the USA Today bestselling author of Such Sharp Teeth and Black Sheep. So it looks really good. And I'm just like obsessed with the cover. And then Red River Road. This is one that I thought Corey and I would both like. And the cover again, oh my gosh, how cool is that? And I love how they implement their logo like super tastefully, like it's in the O. It's just so fun. But yeah, I'm like, I just can't stop staring at the cover of this book. This is by Anna Downs. Again, I have not heard of her. I mean, I have heard of Rachel Harrison, the other one, but have not heard of this author at all. But yeah, she's got a couple other books as well. This is a thriller. Is she running for safety or being driven into darkness? So this is like a woman traveling alone type situation happening, and like kind of trying to solve the mystery of her sister's disappearance. So trying to give like a quick overview without reading the whole thing on the inside. But this one looks really good. I bet it will be really fast paced. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna read it soon, but I don't know, I could be tempted to just based on the cover alone. But Red River Road. And the other choices this month are top notch. I just had to, you know, restrain myself because, as we've been discussing, the TBR is a little bit out of control.
You can only get 3
and you can only get 3 anyway. So they do release 6 choices, but you can only get 3. I've been very tempted to sign him up under his email address so that I can get all of them some months.
I want to pick my own.
Yeah. But hey, there's going to be overlap though, ones that we probably will both want to read. But yeah, their books are excellent. If you have not checked them out, we talk about them a lot, but I still have a promo code that you can use. You could get either one of those books for $4. $4. You could look at their other choices. So they have 4 other choices as well. I want to say this, that my copy is signed, but however, they like completely ran out of signed copies like really fast. So they are still doing a reprint on them, I believe, but they won't be signed, unfortunately, and then you'd have to wait a little bit longer. So I will say that if you're wanting to get it through Aardvark, there'd be a little bit of a wait on So Thirsty. But as far as I know, the other ones, yeah, you could grab it for literally just $4, which is absolutely insane for a beautiful hardcover. And then you can add up to 2 more for $9.99 each. So they do have add-ons, and that's an incredibly good price.
Think about that. 3 books for $24. You can't even get a new hardcover at the store for $24. They're generally
and then
$28
the shipping
or
is
$30.
Free too, by the way. So shipping is always free.
Yeah, it's just really good deal.
The regular price, if you were to continue after that promo code, is like $17.99. So again, not bad at all. I have felt that it's very worth it.
The books are high quality and just really, they have a way of picking books that are just maybe lesser known.
Right, they're more obscure, but that's what I've
loved all of them I've read so far. They're high quality and just, you're going to find things that... Their social media
presence is like top notch.
Man,
and
they're...
Yeah.
It's excellent all around.
We can't say enough good things. So yeah, I'll make sure to put that promo code in the description again in case you need it. And if you have any more questions about them, obviously let me know. But I think that's all we have for books.
Oh, we've gone through a lot.
That's all.
It's it. I mean, we got more books we can talk about.
We could talk for another hour, really, but we won't do that.
We want to be respectful of your time and our time. We need to read.
Yeah,
so.
we need the time to read now that we talked about
reading. So yeah, we haven't received any questions in a while. So if you have a question, please ask a question. We can answer in the next episode. We're going to do a couple more episodes, and I think we'll do another live episode. So this is episode 27. I think we decided maybe like every 5 episodes we'll go live. Because our live...
Maybe episode 30 then. Yeah,
our last live was so fun. We're going to try to figure out how to keep our screen sideways like this. That'll be key. But that was really fun. And the participation was excellent.
Yeah.
So maybe every 5 episodes we'll try to do that. So we filmed our last couple episodes on Monday nights. And then we'll obviously post it on Tuesday. So... we'll try to keep with that schedule, but we're definitely
Obviously,
doing one once a week.
May not, it might not be consistent, but for now, I think Mondays
are not a bad day for us. So
yeah.
it's such a bummer day. It's kind of fun to have something to look forward to, and then you can watch it tomorrow on Tuesday. So
we will talk to you next time.
Thank you for watching.